Start by forming a slip knot like you usually would for a foundation chain. For this size bag, you will chain 60. Now we'll begin the Tunisian stitch. Begin by skipping the first stitch and inserting your hook into the second stitch and yarn over and pull through. Insert your hook into the next 8 stitches and yarn over and pull through each of those 8 stitches. Now you should have a total of 9 loops on your hook. Looking back in the other direction, you're going to yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and you're going to continue doing this, and you should yarn over and pull through 2 for a total of 8 times. This is how it should look when you reach the end. Now we're going to be working into these front little loops that look like bars. Begin by inserting your hook into the first loop, yarn over and pull through. Then you're going to insert your hook into the next loop and yarn over and pull through, and you're going to continue this all the way down. When you reach the end of the row, you should have a total of 8 loops on your hook, and you're going to skip the last loop and insert your hook into the next stitch and yarn over and pull through. This is how the diamond shape is created. Getting your way back, you're going to continue the pattern and yarn over and pull through 2 until you reach the end. Continue the same pattern for rows 2 through 7. This is how it should look when you finish row 7. For the last row, or row 8, you're just going to slip stitch across instead of yarn over and pull through. You're just going to slip stitch instead. Once again, you're going to skip the last stitch and slip stitch into the next chain. You should have a total of 8 slip stitches when you're finished. Now we'll begin the next square, and you're just going to repeat the same pattern that we've been doing for the Tunisian stitch. So yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through for a total of 9 loops on your hook, and then repeat what we've been doing. When you're finished, you should have a total of 4 squares. To fasten off, I'm just going to chain 1 and then pull through, but you can fasten off with whichever method you like. Now you'll grab your second color yarn. In this case, I'm using an ivory, and I'm just going to form a slip stitch and join it to the pink yarn. To join, you're going to find the corner of one of your pink squares, and I'm just joining by doing a slip stitch, but you can join however you'd prefer. Now we'll be continuing the same pattern as before, so inserting your hook into the chain and yarning over and pulling through, and this is the start of our Tunisian stitch. When you reach the end of the square, you should have a total of 8 loops on your hook, and your 9th loop is going to be from the neighboring square. Now you'll be continuing the same pattern. So once again, when you reach the side of the pink square, you're going to insert your hook into the next stitch and yarn over and pull through. Once again, when you reach the 8th row, you're going to slip stitch instead of yarning over and pulling through. When you finish with the first ivory square, or whatever color you're using, it should look something like this. Once again, continue the same pattern that we've been using until you reach the end. When you reach a corner, it's going to be the same pattern that we've been using, except you're going to be working on two sides of the same square instead of two sides of different squares. This is how it should look when you've finished your corner. After completing our second row, we're going to do the same thing that we did with the pink, which is chain one and fasten off, and then continue the pattern for 3 more rows. Once you've reached the 6th row, when you get to the middle, we're going to decrease. We'll begin the same by inserting our hook, yarning over and pulling through for 9 stitches. When you get to this point, you're going to skip the first stitch and insert your hook into the second stitch, yarn over and pull through, and then continue the same pattern that we've been doing. Once again, you're going to skip the first stitch and insert your hook into the second stitch, and you're going to continue the same pattern, and you're going to continue decreasing until you reach the end of your square. Once again, you're going to skip the last stitch and insert your hook into the next stitch, and you will not be decreasing again until you reach the other center of your bag. I'm not sure why the quality looks so horrible, but this is me starting the 7th row. This is how it should look after finishing the 7th row. Now for the last row, we're just going to be working in between these 2 squares. Now we're done with the body of the bag. Lastly, we're going to be working on our straps. You can use whichever stitch you'd like for this, and make it however thick you like, but for this one I'm going to be doing 6 stitches using the Tunisian stitch. You can also make it however long you like. I just made mine the length of a shoulder bag. I joined to the other side just using a slip stitch. The final step is to weave in all your ends. Here is the finished product.